Follow the liquidity and let's ignore the noise. That's going to be my exact Bitcoin game plan because me personally, I don't believe in this dump to the downside, and I think this is once again a huge Bitcoin trap. So we will take a deep dive into what's the most important Bitcoin charts, the latest news hitting the markets here, and of course a deep dive into what's Ethereum. So from there guys, make sure to first of all subscribe to the channel and watch and like my latest YouTube videos, and then we can dive into what's the most important content. Since, like I said, I do think the best game plan for Bitcoin here is going to be ignoring the noise and following the liquidity. Because yes, there's still a major Bitcoin move higher coming up this bull market. So we should not be panicking too much about corrections like this because they are simply a part of the bull market. Bitcoin is currently testing important support here, which is basically the moving average 50 trend line on the daily here, and also on the EMA ribbons we are trading at the lower side of the EMA ribbons there. So yes, Bitcoin is at quite important support here, but I do have one important warning. The fact that I do think Bitcoin could be grabbing even more liquidity at the downside before seeing a new major push to the upside, because that is usually something what happens once we hit those support levels. We do sometimes see a massive trap under those support levels like the moving average 50 or the EMA ribbons here, and from there a new move to the top side to basically shake out all the weak hands, shake out all the bears below important support, and then see a new move to the upside. So I do think something like that could be happening once again. It doesn't have to, but it could definitely be happening. So don't get trapped by that. But also the EMA ribbons and the moving average 50 are going to be your best indication once again if Bitcoin is still going to be trading in this massive uptrend, because it's going to be important to not lose this uptrend for Bitcoin. I don't think this will happen, but we should be aware of the fact that yes, those are the most important indicators. Bitcoin is also retesting this important support line, this major trend line here from basically the same uptrend I was talking about at the charts here. And of course, it's going to be important for Bitcoin to not be losing this level, but if it does so, I don't think it will be the end of the world. It could be that Bitcoin does grab a little bit of liquidity below it and then moves back to the top side, but yeah, in an ideal world, you don't want to see Bitcoin losing this exact support level. Let's hope that's not going to be the case here. I do think if you just zoom out a little bit on Bitcoin, is still looking insanely bullish. We have seen these major expansion phases during all the years of this bull market, so 2023 and then expansion in 2024 consolidation, and a big expansion in late 2024, then more consolidation, and now that expansion phase. So I don't think there's too much reason to be worrying about this Bitcoin correction. On the bigger context, we are still trading in this major expansion phase. And yes, I do think it's actually still looking quite good for Bitcoin. Bit of course, the information that yes, that global liquidity has been trending higher and we still have this major move to complete for the global liquidity. And now something very bullish is that I'm seeing a little bit of an uptick in the global liquidity here also. So yeah, let's see how this data is going to play out. But Bitcoin on the longer term is still looking quite good in my opinion. So we have the possibility and a high probability that the September rate cut is actually coming now. So that's also going to be extremely bullish for Bitcoin crypto and most definitely altcoins. So guys, if we zoom out a little bit, both on the price data and also on like the macroeconomic environment, things are still looking quite good for Bitcoin and the crypto market. So we should not be panicking too much. This could be yet another massive trap. Also, Sharplink Gaming is about to buy another 100 million US dollars worth of Ethereum, and I do think the institutional accumulation of Ethereum has been absolutely insane here. The strategic Ethereum reserve did actually hit 10 billion US dollars yesterday, but now we are back to 9.4 billion US dollars. But for example, still the total ETF holdings are still valued over 20 billion US dollars here. So that's quite insane, guys. And this institutional accumulation is going to push the Ethereum price even even higher in the upcoming months, so it's still looking quite good there. And from there, guys, I do want to discuss Bitunix, because if you do want to be trading Bitcoin and altcoins yourself, make sure you do it on Bitunix over here. I've linked this platform below under all of my latest YouTube videos. Make sure to check Bitunix out if you're getting interested in trading Bitcoin and altcoins yourself, because I do think this is going to be the most beginner friendly platform to do so, because here you can claim over $400 just by signing up on the platform. Yes, that's absolutely insane, and I've linked the link to this platform basically in the description below if you do want to check it out, and if you do want to be claiming that $400 in deposit bonuses over on Bitunix. So make sure to check it out, guys. And from there, I do want to quickly discuss some Ethereum price data. Because of course, also for Ethereum, we've seen this major move to the downside, but I'm still not panicking here. I do think this conservative case is still going to be a highly likely target to hit this bull cycle. If you're going to be a little bit more bullish, you could even be looking in towards this bull case. I do think Ethereum could be making new all-time highs this cycle still, but for now and for like the last few months, I've made this conservative case target for myself because I've been accumulating on these ultimate lows. So basically, I'm still in big profits on my Ethereum spot positions. And I do think once we hit this conservative case, that 4K target, that's going to be a huge target for me. And that's where I will be taking most of my profits personally. Also, Ethereum is still trading in this uptrend, so not too much to be worrying about. Of course, this is going to be an important chart to stay monitoring over like the next few days, but we are still trading in this uptrend, so don't be panicking too much here. Also, Ethereum versus Bitcoin is actually holding up quite strong on the daily time frame. I do think if we are going to see a bounce for Ethereum here, we could just see a new ranging phase for Ethereum versus Bitcoin, just like we saw over here, and then eventually that massive breakout once again, because I don't think it's over for altcoins yet. I do still believe in that major altcoin season, but like I stated in a few of my other videos, I do think it's more likely to see an altcoin season at the ending stage of the year in Q4 and maybe even the beginning of 2026. But for now, I mostly do think in Q4 the true altcoin season firework is getting started. And guys, that was it for today's update video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys within the next update video tomorrow.